Hey friends, it's Friday night. We're going to hear a speech here, a few moments of his speech, in regards to the government possibly shutting down. And you're going to see just how he feels about this. So let's let the old president roll here, Mr. Obama. Let him roll with his plea to everybody to get along and vote for what he wants here. Here we go. So I get started.
Or alliances or our diplomacy. First and foremost, America's strength depends on a strong economy, where our middle class is growing and everyone who works hard has a chance to get ahead. Let me say a few words about the situation that's developed over the past few weeks on Capitol Hill. Here at home, the United States Congress has two pressing responsibilities.
Really? Say you?
Budget on time and pay our bills on time.
You reckon?
If Congress chooses not to pass a budget by Monday, the end of the fiscal year, they will shut down the government along with many vital services that the American people depend on. The good news is, within the past couple of hours, the United States Senate, Democrats and Republicans, acted responsibly. To keep our government open and delivering the services the American people expect.
You twisted their arm?
Now it's up to the Republicans in the House of Representatives to do the same. I say that because obviously Democrats have a great interest in making sure that these vital services continue to help the American people. And so far, the Republicans in the House of Representatives have refused to move forward.
There you go.
And here's the thing. Unlike the last time they threatened this course of action, this debate isn't really about deficits. In fact, our deficits are falling at the fastest pace that they have in 60 years.
No, they aren't.
By the end of this year, we will have cut.
We'll be so broke we won't know what to do with ourselves.
By more than half since I took office.
Yeah, right.
That's not what this is about.
We're not buying this.
In fact, if you've been following the discussion, the Republicans in the House don't even make a pretense that that's what this is about.
Yeah, right.
Instead,
because they know you're full of it.
They're so concerned with appeasing the Tea Party that they've threatened the government shutdown.
Tea Party.
Or worse, unless I gut or repeal the Affordable Care Act. I said this yesterday. Let me repeat it. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Because I say so.
100 million Americans currently already have new benefits and protections under the law.
100 million.
On Tuesday, about 40 million more Americans will be able to.
That's 140 million.
The affordable health care, just like.
I thought there were 350 million or better here in this country.
Marketplaces will be open for business.
Open marketplaces.
No matter what, even if there's a government shutdown. That's a done deal.
We're going to get that buck, aren't we?
Republicans have specific ideas on how to genuinely improve the law, rather than gut it, rather than delay it, rather than repeal it. I'm happy to work with them on that.
You're happy.
The normal democratic processes. But that will not happen under the threat of a shutdown. So over the next 3 days...
We're under a Republican, not a Democrat anyway.
Whether to join the Senate and keep the government open or shut it down because they can't get their way.
Who can't get their way?
Nothing to do with the deficit. I realize that a lot of what's taking place right now is political grandstanding, but this grandstanding has real effects on real people.
Oh, really?
If the government shuts down on Tuesday,
military
personnel, including those risking their lives overseas for us right now, will not get paid on time. Federal loans for rural communities, small business owners, families buying a home will be frozen. I'm already starting to get letters from people worried that this will have an impact on them directly. Critical research into life-saving discoveries will be immediately halted. The federal government has a large role across the country and touches the lives of millions of people.
Yeah.
Those people will be harmed. And even the threat of a shutdown already is probably having a dampening effect on our economy.
You reckon?
We saw that the last time these kinds of shenanigans were happening.
Shenanigans?
So to any Republican in Congress who's currently watching, I encourage you to think about who you're hurting. There are probably young people in your office right now. They work for you without much pay because they believed that public service was noble.
Because
Preparing to send them home without a pay.
you don't pay them nothing.
You've got families with kids back in your districts who serve their country in the federal government. And now they might have to plan how they're going to get by if you shut the government down.
Like the rest of us poor people.
Past shutdowns have disrupted the economy, and this shutdown would as well. It would throw a wrench into the gears of our economy at a time when those gears have gained some traction.
Oh, they have.
That's why many Republican senators and many Republican governors have urged Republicans to knock it off, pass a budget, and move on. Let's get this done. This brings me to Congress's second responsibility. Once they vote to keep the government open, they also have to vote within the next couple of weeks to allow the Treasury to pay the bills for the money that Congress has already spent. I want to repeat. Raising the debt ceiling is simply authorizing.
We shouldn't even be talking to the Treasury. They're not part of us.
Has already authorized.
See how this scam runs?
Failure to meet this responsibility
Failure.
would be far more dangerous than a government shutdown.
Oh, see?
It would effectively be an economic shutdown.
Oh,
It
baloney.
impacts not just here, but around the world.
I've heard this before, back with
We
Bush.
don't fully understand what might happen.
Do we really care?
Dangers involved.
You're silly,
Because
man.
no Congress has ever actually threatened default. But we know it would have a profound destabilizing effect on the entire economy.
Well, good. We need to destabilize it and reset it up.
Because America is the bedrock of world investment.
We are. You aren't. We're
The
sick
dollar
of
is
you.
the reserve currency.
We're sick of you, Mr. Obama, and the rest of you
Issued by the
cutthroats.
Treasury is the foundation for.
The Treasury ain't no foundation of nothing. They ain't even got nothing to back
That's why
themselves
you
up
don't
with.
fold
They're
it.
phony.
Some Republicans have suggested that unless I agree to an even longer list of demands, not just gutting the healthcare law, but cutting taxes for millionaires, or rolling back rules on big banks and polluters, or other pet projects that they'd like to see, and they've been trying to get past over the last couple of years, that they would push the button, throw America into default for the first time in history, and risk throwing us back into a recession.
Really? I thought we were.
Now, I'm willing to work with anybody.
Where did the truck
who wants
drivers
to
come
have
and
a
see you?
serious conversation about our fiscal future. I've demonstrated that by putting forward serious reforms to tax and entitlement programs.
Yeah. Executive orders to have us all thrown in jail.
I have said in the past, and I will continue to say, that I'm willing to make a whole bunch of tough decisions, ones that may not be entirely welcomed by my own party. But we're not going to
Monkey
do
party.
this under the threat of blowing up the entire economy. I will not negotiate.
Why?
Congress's responsibility
Why not?
to pay the bills.
It's time to do it.
Already been racked
Don't
up.
you know how to do it? You can't do it, can you?
Voting for the Treasury to pay America's bills is not a concession to me.
The hell with the Treasury.
That's not doing me a favor. That's simply carrying out the solemn responsibilities that come with holding
There
office.
is no responsibilities, you banker. You talk like a
I don't know
lawyer
how I can
banker.
be more clear about this.
Yeah, you're clear, all right.
Nobody gets to threaten the full faith and credit of the United States just to extract political concessions.
Really? You ain't heard the American
One gets
people
to hurt the
rise up
economy
yet then, have you?
And millions of innocent people just because there are a couple of laws that you do not like. It
We
has
don't
not
like
been
none
done
of
in
you,
the past.
buddy.
We're not going to start doing it now.
Oh,
We're
really?
not going to start setting a precedent, not just for me, but for future presidents,
Huh.
where one chamber in Congress can basically say each time there needs to be a vote to make sure Treasury
That's why it's called
pays
check
its
and
bills,
balance there, big
we're
boy.
not going to sign it unless our particular hobby horse.
Hobby horse, you're a hobby horse.
Imagine if you had a Republican president and a Democratic speaker. And a Democratic
There ain't no difference, is there?
We're not going to pass the debt ceiling unless
We don't know any
raise
different.
corporate
They're all the
taxes
same
by
game.
40%. Or unless we pass background checks on guns.
Well, how'd you get that in there? How'd the guns get in here?
Another list of agenda items Democrats were interested in.
Huh?
Does anybody actually think that we would be hearing from Republicans that that was acceptable behavior?
What? Respectable behavior,
That's
huh?
not how our constitutional system is designed.
Huh? How do you know?
We are not going to do it.
Oh, okay.
American people have worked too hard to recover from a bunch of crises.
Huh.
Several of them now over the last couple of years inflicted by some of the same folks in Congress that we're talking about now. To see...
Well, you didn't change anything there, big boy. Where's your change? Oh, the boy of change.
And keep in mind, by the way, this whole thing has to do with keeping the government open for a few months. The continuing resolution, the bill that's designed to avert a government shutdown, basically just funds the government for another couple of months. So we could be doing this all over again.
Well, no kidding, monkey.
I'm sure the American people are thrilled about that.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about it. Get that monkey out of your pocket.
That's why we've got to break this cycle.
I ain't breaking no
The
cycle.
message to Congress is this. Do not shut down the government. Do not shut down the economy. Pass a budget on time. Pay our bills on time. Refocus on the everyday concerns of the American people.
Yeah, when are you going to start doing
There
that?
will be differences between
Quit
Democrats
spraying
and
chemtrails in the air.
We can have
Stop the
all kinds of
Fukushima
conversations
pollution.
about how to resolve those
Stop the radiation coming
issues.
in.
The areas where we can
Stop
work
the
together.
drone
The areas
attacks.
where
Stop
we can
killing people. Stop the abortions.
But do not threaten to burn the house down. Simply
Go back to
because
gold silver standard. Do the Americans'
you
people's
haven't
work.
gotten 100% of your way.
Now, you want to go back to the same old routine of BS.
Every day that this goes on is another day that we're not focused on doing what we need to be.
You're not focused on it anyway.
Rebuilding this.
You're not rebuilding
So
nothing.
that our middle class is growing and everybody's got opportunity if they're willing to work hard.
You're not rebuilding
That's what I'm
nothing.
focused on. That's what Congress should be focused on as well.
Baloney.
Thank you very
There you go, guys. There he is. So God bless you. We'll talk to you later. That's Friday afternoon with Obama and the Old Marine. Comedy Hour. Bye-bye, friends. Have a good one.